Clearly, this is kind of part of your pitch, that you're doing this on your own terms.
I do things my way. I don't feel like I have to come out and explain to the national media every time I make a decision as to how, when, where I want to campaign.
These last few years have really changed your perspective on a lot of things.
Yeah. You can't live as much life as I have lived, not just in length, but in quality and in terms of things that have happened to you, and remain exactly the same person. I've had the worst thing that can happen to a father and the best thing that can happen to a father, and gives you a sense of perspective, and it frees you up in some ways.
And just as Betsy's death caused him to leave politics 5 years ago, Thompson cites his new children in his decision to re-enter the political arena.
And I'm more concerned about the kind of world my kids are going to grow up in, my grandkids are going to grow up in. I think there are going to be decisions on the president's desk that will impact our future for a long time to come. Matters concerning our national security, matters concerning our economy and our prosperity.
Thompson, alone among the major candidates, is taking on Social Security reform, boldly suggesting adjustments in future benefits.
Your opponents are going to say you're in favor of cutting Social Security.
Of course they will. Of course they will. That's why people don't bring it up. So therefore, we continue on the current path, and we bankrupt the system.
On a lighter note, there's a website called Google Suggest, and you can see what people are searching for. And if you look at what people are searching for about all the different candidates, if you look at Fred Thompson, one of the top things that they're interested in is Fred Thompson, wife. That is one of the top searches.
Well, that's one of the things I'm most interested in, too.
I'm Jerry Thompson.
But much to Thompson's chagrin, some of the attention to Jerry has been negative. Crude comments about her looks and whispers about her controlling the campaign.
She refused to behave like a candidate's wife until her husband became a candidate. But she refused to go out and defend herself against being a trophy wife or whatever it is they decided to call her. She just let it go.
She wanted you to run them.
But no, that's not a fair characterization of it. She wanted me to do what I felt like I ought to do. She thought that I could do some things for the country, and that I probably ought to step forward.
You're running right now against somebody who was a mayor, somebody who was a governor. You don't have that same kind of executive experience.
Management's important, but leadership is more important. Managers are people who leaders hire.
One of the issues Thompson is trying to take the lead on and prove himself more conservative than his rivals is immigration, which he addressed at his next stop at the Collier County Sheriff's Office.
Can I just say how much I appreciate you, Sheriff, and what you're doing here, and your people here. Of course, I naturally gravitate to people that believe in law and order. I mean, that's the one thing.
Despite his laid-back manner, Thompson is aggressively painting himself as the only real conservative among the frontrunners, Mitt Romney and former Mayor Rudy Giuliani.
The mayor, his position has been consistent in support of the idea of sanctuary cities.
2 days after this event, however, the Collier County Sheriff endorsed Romney. But today, en route to a fundraiser in swanky Fort Lauderdale, Thompson remains upbeat.
I haven't really gotten a sense of you out there meeting all the Floridians, or as I know you've done in other trips.
Yeah. Well, you know, a campaign is a long process and it's filled with many things. I've even done a couple of fundraisers you weren't invited to. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
He doesn't want to hurt my feelings, but he doesn't really care what I think. He's doing this the way he wants to do it, on his own terms.
I think that, you know, when a man has been through the heights and depths of life and has had the tragedy and the blessings of life as I have, I think you develop an even greater sense of what's important and what's not.
This is Jake Capper for Nightline in Miami, Florida.
According to ABC's latest national poll, Thompson is running second to Rudy Giuliani, going his own way. We'll be right back.
ABC News Nightline.